Hello, my dear Wisdom Tree Kids friends, and a very, very special welcome to Little Vihu. I'm so glad you could join me today. In today's explainer, we're going to explore something incredibly beautiful, the wisdom tree, and the lessons of Randhan Chhat and Sheetla Satam. Go ahead and get comfortable. We're going on a little journey today, a journey right into our ancient traditions, our shared values, and surprisingly enough, our physical health. I absolutely love looking back at the stories our ancestors told because nestled right inside them are these brilliant practical lessons for how we live today.
Okay, let's dive right into this. Why on earth do we give fire a rest? It sounds a little strange at first, doesn't it? I mean, in our daily lives, fire is constantly burning. It cooks our meals, it heats our water, it literally powers our modern conveniences. But long ago, our ancestors actually designated a specific time of the year to intentionally extinguish the hearth, to let the stove just cool completely. So, why would they do that? Well, to understand this beautiful practice, we first need to travel back in time and listen to a story that's been passed down from mother to daughter for generations.
So, picture this. A long time ago, in a bustling, happy household, there lived a mother-in-law and her two daughters-in-law. Now, they shared a really deep, unwavering reverence for goddess Sheetla. And goddess Sheetla, as you might know, is revered in our culture as the soothing, cooling deity who protects us from diseases. Together, these three women used to observe the Sheetla Satam fast with immense devotion. And they didn't just do it out of habit, They observed this sacred fast to ensure the long life, protection, and good health of all the children in their family. It was just an act of pure, unconditional maternal love. But one year, something completely unexpected happened. An unknowing mistake was made during the fast. You see, the rules of this fast were quite strict, involving cooling the hearth and entirely avoiding fresh cooking. But a tiny error slipped through. And because of this completely unintentional break in the tradition, trouble fell upon the children of the house. I just want us to pause here for a second. Imagine the heavy hearts of that mother-in-law and those daughters-in-law. They meant no harm at all, yet their precious children were suddenly facing suffering. It's a terrifying moment for any family, realizing that a simple oversight might have disrupted the harmony of their home. Driven by love and, honestly, desperation, the women turned right back to goddess Sheetla. And they didn't make excuses. Instead, with complete and absolute devotion, they asked the goddess for her forgiveness. And they made a powerful promise. They said, "We vow to never abandon our traditions." They recognized in that very moment that the rituals handed down to them weren't just arbitrary rules. They were carefully designed practices meant to protect their family. Their heartfelt plea was a promise to honor that ancient wisdom forever. And because their devotion was just so pure, goddess Sheetla, who is the very embodiment of mercy and coolness, forgave them. She immediately blessed their children with new life and completely restored their health. Oh, what a beautiful relief that must have been. And ever since that miraculous day, this fast has become an absolutely unbreakable tradition in our culture. It's observed year after year, completely dedicated to the welfare and long life of children. It's such a gentle reminder that our traditions are held together by the grace of forgiveness and the incredible warmth of a mother's protective love. And this brilliantly illustrates the sequence of our festivals, Vihu. These days arrive in such a perfect, thoughtful order. First, we have Bol Chauth on day 1, which is specially dedicated to the worship of cows and calves, teaching us profound gratitude toward nature. Then day 2 is Nag Panchami, reminding us to protect all living creatures. Next is day 3, Randhan Chhat. On this day, the women of the house come together and cook a grand feast for the entire family. But why? Well, so that on day 4, Sheetla Satam, absolutely no stove needs to be lit. The cooking is done, the fire finally rests. This actually brings us to a really fascinating comparison. Think about our modern times. We're using gas stoves, microwaves, and ovens every single day without fail, right? Our kitchens are just constantly generating heat. But if we look at our ancient traditions, we see this highly intentional practice of giving the stove and the element of fire itself a well-deserved rest. In a world where we're always on, always cooking, and always consuming heat, this ancient tradition gently asks us to just pause. It teaches us the quiet, grounding power of cooling down our homes and taking a much-needed break from the constant burning. So, why does all this cooling down matter so much physically? Let's get into our next section, our ancestral health plan.
Now, what's really interesting about this is that these stories and traditions were actually scientifically sound. This seasonal detox breaks down into 3 very practical steps. Step 1 is rest for the digestive system. Step 2 focuses on cleanliness, and Step 3 centers on fasting and self-control. These are the 3 pillars of keeping our bodies and minds resilient. So let's look a little closer at what each of these steps actually does for us physically and mentally. Let's start with step 1, digestive rest. Just think about what we eat throughout the whole year. We consume rich, hot, and often very spicy foods, right? Our internal engine is constantly working overtime to break all of that down. Well, by deliberately eating only pre-cooked, cooling foods on Sheetla Satam, we are actively calming our body's metabolism. It's a physical necessity. We're providing our stomach and intestines with a much-needed detox. We give our internal fire, our digestion, the exact same rest that we give our kitchen stuff.
Then we have step 2, which revolves entirely around cleanliness. Goddess Sheetla is, at her very core, the goddess of cleanliness and hygiene. Leading up to this festival, families engage in deep cleaning their homes. So this is all about physical purification and external cleanliness. When the seasons change, especially during the monsoons when illnesses can spread like wildfire, cleaning the house isn't just a chore. It is a critical environmental purification step to keep the whole family healthy. Our ancestors knew for sure that a clean home is our very first defense against disease.
And finally, we reach step 3, fasting. Now, I want to be super clear here. Actually, scratch the idea that fasting just means starving yourself or staying hungry. True fasting is an exercise in gaining control over our mind and our senses. When we consciously choose to consume only sattvic, meaning pure, light, and cool, food, we aren't just resting our bodies, we're calming our minds. This practice gently strips away the heavy, lethargic energy of rich foods, allowing our thoughts to remain peaceful, clear, and perfectly balanced. So the absolutely crucial point here is this. This is not just a ritual. It is a profound health plan gifted by our ancestors. When we look at all these pieces together, the resting of the fire, the cooling of the digestion, the cleaning of the home, the calming of the mind, we are looking at a masterclass in holistic living. Our ancestors wrapped a brilliant medical and psychological detox plan right inside a beautiful story of devotion, just so we would remember to practice it every single year. It teaches us how to live as a family in perfect harmony with nature's cycles.
My dear Wisdom Tree kids and sweet little Vihu, I truly hope you've enjoyed and understood today's story. Our culture is just so rich, so kind, and so very smart. Always remember the beautiful roots of your culture. But before we wrap up today's explainer, I want to leave you with a little something to think about. How will you implement this ancestral wisdom of resting and detoxing in your own modern life? Even if you don't observe the fast perfectly, how can you find moments to cool down, clean your surroundings, and give your body a rest? Have a think about that. Thank you so much for learning with me today. We will meet again very soon, so stay connected with Wisdom Tree Kids.
So, my dear friends, that brings us to the end of today's wonderful journey. I hope you learned something new today. A quick note, if you or your friends would like to watch this video in Hindi, you can find the Hindi version on our channel as well. Do check it out. If you enjoyed this video, please like it and share it with your friends. Let us know in the comments below what you like the most. If you haven't subscribed yet, hit that button now so you don't miss any updates. Stay tuned to Wisdom Tree Kids. Thank you so much for watching.